Let's dive right in. Today in Salt Lake City, Box Elder County hit pause on a massive data center vote after pressure from protesters and state leaders. That could have ripple effects on how decisions get made.
Okay, here we go. From the top, I'm Leah, keeping it real and keeping it local in Salt Lake City.
And I'm Garrett, staying curious and keeping it chill. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett in Salt Lake City.
First up, Box Elder County postpones a vote on a hyperscale data center after a packed commission meeting and mounting pressure. A hyperscale center is basically an ultra-large server facility that uses huge amounts of power and cooling to keep the internet humming. The commission delayed the vote in April 2026 after more than 80 people showed up asking for real public input. Two names to define here. MIDA, that's the Military Installation Development Authority, a Utah state entity that plans and finances development tied to or benefiting military areas. And Kevin O'Leary, the investor and TV personality from Shark Tank, is connected to this project. Residents say decisions this big need transparency and time. The commission's delay signals that public pressure works.
Yeah, that checks out. I'm all about broad public involvement, especially on something this scale. When you're talking thousands of servers and major infrastructure, community voices aren't a nice to have, they're essential. Transparency here means simple, open explanations of costs, benefits, water and power impacts, and who's accountable, right?
Totally. One quick question, though. Why do you think these big moves still get so far before people are looped in?
Probably timing and complexity. Big deals come together fast and use technical language. That can leave everyday folks out. Plain language briefings and earlier public meetings would help a ton. Next up. Speaking of accountability, Governor Spencer Cox says he fell short in responding to criticism over the Box Elder data center plan. In April 2026, he told reporters in Salt Lake City he seeks to do better and improve how the state communicates about the project. Public criticism clearly nudged a reset in strategy.
I appreciate the acknowledgement. Real talk. Leaders admitting missteps is step one. Step two is listening sessions, clear timelines, and updates. Regular people can understand. When the public speaks up, being receptive is not just polite, it's part of good governance. Next up, let's unpack who's steering the planning behind that data center. The MIDA board includes a mix of elected officials, department heads, developers, and a lobbyist. A lobbyist is someone paid to advocate and influence policy. Notable names include J. Stewart Adams, Utah's Senate president, and Gage Frower, a Weber County commissioner. Senator Jerry Stevenson is also among the political heavy hitters involved. The makeup of this board signals strong political and economic interests at the table. That can bring momentum and resources, but it can also raise fair questions about whose priorities get top billing and how community concerns are balanced with development goals.
That's something to chew on, huh? When big names drive local projects, I'd love to see broader community representation, like residents, educators, and small business owners from the surrounding area. Also, simple wins. Publish meeting notes in plain English, live stream votes, and set clear conflict of interest disclosures. Accountability isn't a vibe, it's a checklist. Next up. On a different note, trail users in northern Utah scored a temporary win. Access is back for now on routes crossing Winter Canyon Ranch up toward Clarkston Mountain. Attorneys in an ongoing lawsuit agreed to lift many off-road limits while the case continues. The core dispute is whether these trails are public or private, and that's still unsettled. Zooming out, this is classic Utah tension between private property rights and public access to beloved routes. Temporary access feels like breathing room. The final ruling will set the actual ground rules.
I'm hopeful for a path that keeps the public on the mountain while respecting landowners. Precedent matters here. That's a decision that guides future cases across the state. And these legal fights, as dry as they can sound, shape weekend plans for hikers, hunters, and families. Fingers crossed, the final framework is clear, fair, and durable. Last up, a new study from the University of Utah's Chem C. Gardner Policy Institute highlights a stark achievement gap in Salt Lake County schools. The report spotlights the Northwest Valley region on the west side, where about 70% of students are students of color, and shows lower standardized test scores and lower college readiness rates compared with the rest of the county and the state. College readiness means being prepared for entry-level college work without remediation. The study ties the gap to several factors, including economic disadvantage, higher absenteeism, and student mobility. Mobility here means students moving schools more often, which disrupts learning. And here's the key line: economic disadvantage alone doesn't fully explain the gap. So we're looking at a layered problem that needs layered solutions.
That hits different. Targeted supports feel essential. High-dosage tutoring, attendance coaching, after-school programs tied to transportation, and stability measures like housing support partners to reduce mid-year school moves. When I say systemic issues, I mean how rules and resources are set up. If funding formulas and staffing leave some schools stretched thin, outcomes will keep splitting. Quick win ideas too: clear data dashboards by neighborhood and partnerships with local groups that already have trust with families. All right, that ties it up nicely. Salt Lake City, a lot in motion. From data centers to trail access to classrooms, it all connects back to how decisions get made and who gets heard.
And there we have it, full circle. Stay tuned for more on these developing stories, and come back to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett. Wishing you a good day out there.